Hey everyone, today we're making some high-fat cloud buns. I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, where I share keto and carnivore recipes and other cooking ideas that have helped me to lose over 130 pounds. I hope you'll join me on this journey as I try to get closer to my goal weight. Check out my website, check out some of my other videos. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, and I hope you like today's video. Okay, today we are going to make high-fat carnivore cloud buns. Now I'm saying carnivore to those people who can tolerate dairy because there is some cream cheese in this recipe today. If you cannot tolerate dairy, then use butter mayo or bacon mayo or, something like that in place of the cream cheese. You guys all know that I have done cloud buns several times. They are so good for having minimal ingredients and you get to have a bun. You can use it for burgers or an egg sandwich or any of those sorts of things. So today's twist is that we are upping the fat because normally there is only eggs, cream cheese, some seasoning. That's pretty much about it, like salt. But today we are going to add Indigo Neely's frozen butter trick. And I'm even taking that one step further because I'm trying to diversify my fat like what I'm using for fats. And so today I'm going to use half butter and half bacon fat that I have frozen. So I'm really hoping that works out because I have not tried it yet. Let's go over all the ingredients. So there's going to be 4 eggs. They need to be separated because we're going to whip up the whites. There's going to be 2 ounces of cream cheese, which is 4 tablespoons. We are having butter, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of frozen bacon fat. These are both frozen. So I'm going to grate it and put it back in the freezer while we do all the other stuff. I am going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning. So if you cannot tolerate Italian seasoning or any seasonings, you don't have to add this. I just like it. It kind of almost tastes like a pizza bun or something. I just like the added dimension of flavor. It is optional. And some Redmond salt, also optional. And I think that is it. If you live in a place where it's very high humidity and you have trouble, whipping up your egg whites, you could add maybe a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. I don't usually do that. That's why it's not here. The other question I often get asked when I do this type of video, because I use my stand mixer, is if you can make it with a regular electric handheld mixer. Absolutely, 100% yes. I made cloud buns for years before I ever got this, and it works just fine. So yeah. So today I'm going to grate the frozen items with my rotary grater, which I absolutely love. If you don't have one of those, you can use this. Watch your knuckles. I have, drawn blood. So I do love this thing. And I recently did a review of the rotary grater, which I will link down below so that you can see other uses for it and why I like it so much. So let's get this out of the way. I just wanted you to know. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do before we start everything else is grate this stuff and get it back in the freezer. So let's do that now. One thing I love about the grater is that you can suction it to the counter. So I am just going to weigh these little butter cubes just to make sure I'm right about how much they weigh. Yeah, so this is 1 ounce of butter, and I'm going to throw that in there and grate it. 1 ounce of butter is 2 tablespoons. And you get a little bit stuck to here, but that's okay. Just scrape it off in there. And then I am going to also grate my frozen 2 tablespoons of bacon fat. Now I've not grated that before. I'm hoping it grates nicely. Oh, there we go, yeah. I'm hoping that this adds kind of a different dimension too to the flavor profile. Let's get all that out of there. We have some on the counter here too. Okay. Oh, it smells like bacon. I can smell it. So I'm just going to get this out. Okay, so I have a little bit here to scrape off as well. So the bacon fat is definitely softer than the butter, so a little bit of it got mooshed in here, but that's okay. It's still going to work. So I just want to get the rest of what was actually grated out. And this is why it's important to put it back in the freezer while we get everything else ready. And that way it will stay frozen. Okay, and all these pieces here can go into the top rack of the dishwasher. I'm gonna throw this in the freezer. Okay, so before we carry on with the rest of the assembly of our cloud bread, I want to thank Element for sponsoring today's video. What is Element? It is a super tasty electrolyte drink that contains everything you need with a science-backed formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I love that I can just take one of these every afternoon and then I can stop worrying about balancing my electrolytes. Element has so many amazing salty flavors, plus a raw, unflavored one for those of you who can't do the stevia extract that is in the flavored ones. Right now, Element is offering to my viewers this free sample pack with any Element purchase from their website. You get all 8 flavors to try. So you can share this with a friend, you know, that you want to introduce to electrolytes. You can use it as a stocking stuffer at this time of year. Or you can try all 8 of the flavors to see which one is your favorite. I've got 2 now, citrus and chocolate salt. So to get your free sample pack with purchase, go to drinkelement.com/ketogenic woman. That is drinkLMNT.com/ketogenic woman. The link will be provided down below in the video notes. As well, you'll be able to see it on your screen. So thank you, Element, for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so we're going to now mix the rest of the ingredients together. I'm just going to run over to the stove and turn the oven on at 300 degrees. So we need 4 eggs. I've got large eggs here. That's usually what I use. You need to separate them. Put the whites in your mixing bowl and the yolks in a separate bowl because we're going to mix the yolks with the cream cheese. So, got my 4 yolks there. I'm just going to set that aside for a moment. Get this on here. Okay, I'm going to start this going, and while it is mixing, I'm going to do the rest of the measuring here. I have my 4 egg yolks. I need 2 ounces of cream cheese, so I'm going to weigh that out, put it in here. And I also am going to add a 1/4 teaspoon Redmond's and 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And that's it, and I'll mix that all up. So let's get this one.
Let's plug it in.
We are going to get this going. Okay, that's pretty stiff. So, let me see here. So, I mean, the real key to these is making these egg whites super stiff. So, get it off. So what I have found incorporates this in a nice way is by taking, I've done this in a couple of my past videos with making cloud bread or anything that involves egg whites, is to take some of the stiff white egg whites and mix them into the egg yolks. I think somebody told me that was called introducing, which seems so much more polite than just lumping it all together and hope it works. Okay, so now we're going to do the hard introduction. So I'm adding, you know, a little bit, and I'll work it in. This is going to make 6 cloud bread buns, and they are going to be 86% fat, I believe. But I will give you all the proper macros at the end once I confirm everything. Just going to grab the frozen butter. Okay, I've got the frozen goods here. So this has got the butter as well as the bacon fat. And I'm going to put that in. Let's get some of this out of the way. And I'm going to make it in a silicone pan. This is like a muffin top pan. Now, oftentimes I make this sort of thing in my mesh bun pans. For this high fat recipe, I don't recommend it because what'll happen is your fat will all ooze out into your pan, and then you will no longer have, let me see here, an 86% fat bun because it will escape. Okay, so let's divide this up. Now you could do this, I guess, on parchment paper, but there again, your fat will be running all over it. So I don't know how to get past that. So I like to do it here because everything gets self-contained in these little wells. So, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, maybe you can just use what you have and then count it as a little bit less fat, you know, just kind of judge to see how much runs out. Oops. Hopefully you're a little tidier than I am at this. I did make this the other day, only I used all butter. I didn't do the bacon fat. Oh, it turned out so good. So I'm really hoping that the bacon fat gives it even another level of yumminess. And I used it to make mini pizzas. I was watching those ladies over at Low Carb Spin make their pizza, and I got a craving for pizza, and so this is how I solved my craving by making high-fat cloud bread. So, and I'll show you a picture of the pizza bun that I made. It'll be up on the screen. It was delicious. Okay, let's get these into the oven, and we will be back in 30 minutes when they are done and cool down. We'll see you in the next segment. Okay, everybody, we're back. Our buns are baked. They baked for 30 minutes at 300 degrees. Now, you do have to let them cool down completely because of the high fat content. You might even, let's see how they look. You can tell, look at how you know, there is like a lot of fat at the bottom. You might even want to put them in the fridge and let all the butter and bacon fat completely harden. But yeah, it came out pretty nice. But yeah, look, I mean, these are 86% fat. So I am actually going to put the rest of these buns in the fridge. So let's go over the macros, and then I'm going to taste them. And because I ate some the other day that were only butter, no bacon fat, I have something to compare against. So you will see the macros up on the screen, but I'll read them here. One bun is 147 calories, 5 grams of protein, total carbs 1, and the carbs come from the cream cheese. And fat is 14 grams. So as far as ratio, that is 86% fat, 13% protein, and 1% carbs. So they fit very nicely into 80-20 high fat carnivore for those of you that are doing that. So I want to taste it though. I'm kind of excited to see what it's like. Now, I will say that the ones I made the other day that only had butter in them, they did rise a little bit more than these ones. So, you know, I'm not sure why that is exactly, but let's see what we have here. So there's what it looks like. So like I mentioned, I do think it's going to benefit from sitting in the fridge because right now it's pretty soft still, but you can see there is a bread-like texture. I think once these have, you know, the fat in here has cooled off and firmed up, it's going to make an awesome hamburger bun, or even just something to put butter on. Okay. They taste really good. I can, you know, there's that hint of bacon flavor in them. And I did use Italian seasoning, so I'm tasting that. This would be perfect for the little mini pizzas. You know, you can put, I don't know, like make a brisket sandwich. There's so many things that you can do with this. I really like fried egg sandwiches, but I am definitely going to be, I haven't had my first meal yet today. I'm definitely wanting to dig in. I'm probably going to make a fried egg sandwich because that will be the fastest. But they smell like bacon. They're so good. Dogs are waiting for me. These are very good, and since they are fairly low on ingredients, I'm going to give the dogs each a little taste test as well. Oh, they heard me say that. Are you guys ready to taste it? Okay. Nice job. Very good. Is that yummy? It's pretty yummy. It tastes like bacon, doesn't it? I do hope that you give this a try and, you know, try it out with some of your different meats and eggs and things like that. And if you have any other ideas or things you want me to try to make on high-fat carnivore, just give me a comment below. I'm going to read them all. Don't know if I can answer them all, but I'll definitely be looking at your thoughts, comments, and ideas. So I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.
I want to get rid of these ugly shells. Get the shell out of here. You're just full of them today, aren't you? I didn't say that. I don't know why I put bread on there because I knew I was going to make buns.